Simplify 1 divided by 2 plus the square root of 3 in the form a plus b square root of 3. So we want to simplify the number we have here in this form, a plus b square root of 3. Now to start this, let me rewrite the problem statement. So what we have is 1 divided by 2 plus the square root of 3. Now what you'd observe is that the number we have at the denominator, that is what we have here, is a radical. In other words, it has a radical as one of its entry in the denominator there. So the thing is, to make this fraction, to make it look proper, I need to do something to this fraction there. And then what do? I rationalize. That's the first thing you do. You rationalize this fraction. So the reason why we are rationalizing the fraction is because the normal numbers you're used to is numbers like say you have 1 all over 3, you have 1 all over 6. So these are the normal fractions you're used to. But anytime in your fraction, maybe your denominator contains, probably let's say you have 1 divided by 6 plus the square root of 3. So whenever you have a radical like this, so the number doesn't look normal anymore. So since it doesn't look normal, to make it normal, the thing we do is we rationalize the denominator. Now how do you rationalize a particular fraction? Well, to rationalize a fraction, what you do is you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So the denominator we have here is, we have 2 plus root 3. So the conjugate, that is the conjugate of this denominator. So when I say conjugate, this is the spelling of conjugate here. So the conjugate of the denominator is just the same number, but with the sign in front of the radical is going to be changed to the opposite sign. For example, the conjugate of 2 plus the square root of 3 is going to be 2. Now this is plus, so it changes to negative sign, then square root of 3. Assuming you were given 2 negative square root of 3, then the conjugate of this is just going to be, so what you have here is a negative sign, so the conjugate is going to be 2 plus, so 2 plus the square root of 3. So anyway, to continue this step, the first thing I need to do is I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So the conjugate of the denominator, like we have derived, is 2 negative root 3. So this 2 negative root 3, and the denominator 2 by 2 negative root 3. Now when I do this, so what I have is 1 times this, which is just going to give me 2 negative root 3 divided by, so this equals this, then this times this, that's going to give me 2 plus the square root of 3 multiplied by 2 negative the square root of 3. Now let's simplify what I have here. So what I have here is, you have 2 plus the square root of 3 multiplied by 2 negative the square root of 3. Now to do this, it's like you want to expand, like you're expanding normal algebraic expression. So the 2 here is going to multiply the whole of this quantity first. So what you have is 2 multiplied by 2 negative square root of 3. So this is what you have. And then also the plus square root of root 3 also is going to multiply what you have here. So what you're going to have is plus the square root of 3, then also multiplies the quantity you have, which is 2 negative the square root of 3. So with this, let's continue carrying out the operation. So what you're going to have is 2 times 2, which is 4, negative 2 times the square root of 3. That's just going to give you 2 square root of 3. So 2 root 3. So similarly, what you have here is the root of 3 times 2 is going to give you 2 root of 3. Then negative the root of 3 times the root of 3 is going to give you the root of 9. That is, root of 3 times the root of 3 is the same thing as the root of 3 times 3, because they have the same family, they both have the root sign, so you can share the root sign amongst the two of them, and this is just going to give you the square root of 9. So now this is negative 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3. They are the same thing, so this crosses out, this goes to 0. So you have 4 negative, now the square root of 9 is 3. And then 4 negative 3 is going to give you 1. So now you've been able to find the solution of the product of these two radicals here. So we now have is 2 negative the root of 3 divided by, now this times this, we've obtained it to be 1 here, so this is 1. So and then this is just going to give you 2 negative root 3, and this is your solution. So 2 negative root 3. Yeah, so this is the solution. So our answer is C.